Welcome to Common Prophets. Today we shall try to explain what is the concept of devatas in the Hindu system and how it is related with astrology. To begin with, I would like to quote from Rig Veda. It is said, "1,000 heads hath Purusha, from him Viraj was born, and again Purusha from Viraj was born." Again, the Atharvaved says, he being father, he became son of them. So both the Vedas are saying that the Purusha or the Brahman was born from the material world, the Viraj, and the material world was born from Brahman. So father begets son, Purusha begets the material world, and the material world begets the Purusha. This shows that there is a constant interaction between the material world and the spiritual world. Now this interaction between the spiritual and the physical obviously would take place from or within our body. Our psychic body has two primary parts. One is the conscious mind, the seat of which is said to be the eyebrow or the Agya chakra behind it. And then there is our spinal cord. And there are 5 primary centers in the spinal cord which are called chakras. Now the waves are emanating from both our conscious mind and our unconscious mind. And these waves are interacting first of all with each other. When I am recording this video, my mind is acting, and these waves are spreading all around. These are interacting with the waves of all the people around me. My colleague who is recording this video, his mental waves are interacting with my mental waves. Similarly, the unconscious waves are interacting with each other. If there are 10 persons in a room, the waves of these 10 persons are coalescing, interacting, merging with each other, and they form a different situation. So now if we expand the spread of these waves, these psychic waves, to the global level, then my conscious thoughts are connecting with the conscious thoughts of the entire humanity, even other living beings like cats and dogs. And this connection is what we call group mind. Just as in the WhatsApp group or the World Wide Web, the thoughts of the various people are getting coalesced and they form a group mind. Similarly, there is communication between different people at the unconscious level. For example, we all have experienced a situation where someone calls us and our phone bell rings and we instantly are able to think who might be calling. This happens because the person who is calling us is unconsciously, his or her unconscious waves are impinging on our unconscious, and that is how we come to perceive that following person is calling us. So our conscious and unconscious are constantly interacting with others, and thus it has been said in an article in Psychology Today that the collective unconscious may be a product of telepathic communication. So there is a telepathic communication and we are all interconnected. In this picture we can see that there are 2 primary levels. The connection of our minds, that forms the group mind, and the connection of our unconscious creates first a collective unconscious, and if we expand it to the global level, then it creates a universal unconscious. This collective or universal unconscious is what we call God or Brahma. Thus the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad says, "As, dear boy, the bees make honey by collecting juices from different trees and reduce them into one essence, and there, as these juices have no such discrimination as I am the juice of this tree, I am the juice of that tree, even so, dear boy, all these creatures having merged into being do not know we have merged into being." Again, the same Upanishad says, These eastern rivers, dear boy, flow along the east and the western ones to the west. They rise from the ocean and merge in the ocean and become that ocean itself. So, what the Upanishad is saying is that the consciousness, the waves that are emanating from my unconscious, they are joining together and they lose their identity and they become Brahman or God. And that is the essence of understanding what is our Devtas. In the modern period, sociologist Emil Durkheim has provided the same concept. He says that the interaction in social organizations leads to the collective identity of the members of a labor union, and the collective consciousness is endowed with quite distinctive characteristics. It forms a determinate system with its own life. It is different from individual consciences. So what Durkheim is saying is that, let's say there is a labor union with 1000 members. Their conscious mind and unconscious mind is constantly interacting. It coalesces and it acquires its own life, which is different from individuals. Just as we elect our president, and the president then embodies the collective mind of all the voters and then rules upon them. Similarly, our consciousness coalesces, creates its own life, and that life or that God governs all the members of the group, in this case, the labor union. Similarly, psychologist Carl Jung says that the elements of collective life exist independently of and are able to exert influence on the individual. That is, our collective life becomes independent and then it governs us. Again, Jung says we must distinguish between the personal Freudian unconscious filled with sexual fantasies and repressed images and the collective unconscious encompassing the soul of humanity at large. So here, Jung is coming very close to the concept of God. The soul of humanity at large, entire humanity is connected with each other at the unconscious level, and the collective of that, or the presiding deity, or the summary of that is the soul of humanity at large, which is what I am calling Brahman or God. Now, the Western psychologists have tried to study whether the whole idea of chakras in our spinal cord has any reality. So when they have put instruments on our different chakras, they found very little evidence. Japanese parapsychologist Hiroshi Motoyama says there are significant differences in the physiological functions of the organ associated with the chakra that the individual subjects claim to have awakened. So if I have awakened my heart chakra, then Motoyama is saying, then the functions of my heart are different than a person who has not activated his Anahat chakra. Similarly, Professor Valerie Hunt of University of California found a direct correspondence between the distinct waveform and the psychic's description of the color emanating from the chakra. So, if I am a psychic and I am thinking that the blue color is emanating from my heart chakra, then my brain waves become different and they indicate a blue color. So there is evidence that the chakras influence our mind and the waves of the mind change. That is because the chakras are switches. So we have minimal evidence at the level of chakra, but we have evidence that the control of chakra or the meditation on chakra changes our flow of our energy in our mind, and we can control our mind accordingly to this. Obviously the reason they cannot find evidence of the chakras is that the chakras are essentially switches for the different parts of our brain. Now, going further, this is the conscious where there are the crown chakra and the eye chakra. Within the unconscious, we have 5 chakras, beginning with the throat chakra, which has the color purple, the heart chakra, which has the color blue, the navel chakra, which has the color yellow, the sacral chakra, which has the color orange, and the root chakra, which has the color red. So just like the light of the sun can be refracted into 7 colors, exactly that situation occurs in our spine. At the point of our birth, our spiritual waves, just like the light of the sun, the spiritual waves get refracted into 7 levels, which are reposed at 7 chakras in our body. The Atharva Veda therefore says, time pulls the 7 chakras. It has 7 navels, and time is the first deva, and it keeps running. So here Hindu Vedic system is saying that there are 7 chakras and they are pulled by the time. Similarly, Adi Shankaracharya says that the devatas located in the chakras tremble by the movement of consciousness in the spinal cord. So here we have a clear statement that the chakras are located in the spinal cord. They have a waves form. The presiding deity of that is the Devata, and since the movement of consciousness in our spinal cord affects the waves of the chakras, therefore Shankaracharya ji says the Devatas tremble by the movement of consciousness in the spinal cord. Swami Shivanand of Rishikesh, who is considered to be the doyen of modern science of yoga, he says the chakras are centers of vital force, the presiding devatas of which are names for the universal consciousness. So here we have a repeated statement from our sages that the devatas are nothing more than the consciousness of our chakras. In this picture we have shown that the 3 primary chakras, the throat chakra, the heart chakra and the navel chakra, the emanations from these 3 chakras coalesce and they become the 3 primary devatas of the Hindu system, namely Brahma, Shiva and Vishnu. Now it is important that the Devi Purana says that there exist millions of Brahmas and innumerable Vishnus. Similarly also it is said elsewhere about Shiva. So this happens because the waves from our throat are moving and they are connecting with different people. It is possible that the waves connect with X number of people and they make one Brahma, then they connect with another Y number of people and they make another Brahma, or the waves emanating from the throat chakras of a different group coalesce together and make another Brahma. So our Shastras say that there are innumerable Brahmas, Vishnus and Shivas. Of course, when the innumerable Brahmas and Vishnus coalesce, then they become the universal Brahma or universal Shiva. Psychologist Abraham Maslow has connected these chakras with different psychological aspects. He says the root chakra is the governor of physiological functions. The sacral chakra is the governor of safety and precaution. The navel chakra is the center of love and belonging. The heart chakra is the center of esteem. And the upper 3 chakras are the centers of self-actualization. We need not worry about the particular description. Different yogis have developed different concepts. The important point is that these 7 chakras govern 7 different aspects of our psychic life. And therefore, by affecting these chakras by different astrological stratagems, we can affect our mind. Now, linking this whole idea of unconscious to Hindu astrology, we have to understand that when the embryo is in the mother's womb, The 7 chakras are either silent, quiet, or clean. They have no sensation in them. The moment a child is born and the child takes a breath, the consciousness rises through all the 7 chakras. At that moment, according to Hindu system, the position of the 7 main planets in the sky influences the nature of that chakra. So, Hindu system says that if you want to change the nature or affect or modify the nature of a particular chakra, you can do this by thinking of or doing worship of that particular planet. In this chart, I have shown the correspondence of the chakras with the devatas, planets and colors. The Sahasrahar chakra is the seat of Brahma. The governing planet is Sun and the color is transparent. The second Agya chakra, the governing deity is Indra, the controlling planet is Moon and the color is white, slightly creamish. The third Vishuddhi chakra, the governing deity is Brahma, the governing planet is Mars and the color is purple or copperish. The fourth Anahat chakra, the governing deity is Shiv, the controlling planet is Mercury and the color is blue. The fourth navel or Manipur chakra, the governing deity is Vishnu, the planet is Jupiter and the color is yellow. The sacral or Swadhisthana chakra, the governing deity is Varun, Ganesh or Hanuman, the planet is Venus and the color is orange. And lastly, the root chakra or Mooladhara chakra, the governing deity is Devi or Kali, the governing planet is Saturn and the color is blood red. Our sages have further connected these devatas or planets with certain plants, certain smells, certain shapes. We need not get into this. But the fundamental point is only this. The waves emanating from our chakras have a presiding deity which is connected with a color or a devata. So if we want to affect our particular chakra, one method is to worship that devata or worship that Saturn, or worship that planet or propitiate that planet or to use that color and things of that kind. So this is the fundamentals of Hindu astrology. We have come to the end of our discussion. The summary is that the devatas and astrology are not bunk. They have a very scientific basis in our psychology of these 7 chakras. And the principal chakras are the Vishuddhi, the heart and navel, which are governed by Brahma, Shiva and Vishnu. And hence we should explain to the modern mind that these are not foolish concepts, that they have a scientific basis, only we have to look at it. I have published a detailed paper on this topic in the International Journal of Theosophy, Philosophy and Science, the link to which you can find in the description of this video. So please do take a look at that paper and provide us with your most critical comments, which we ever welcome. Please, of course, do not forget to like and share this video, and we look forward to meeting you again. Thank you and have a good day.